Kia ora, thank you for having me. So I think when it comes to sexuality, we can all agree that there's a spectrum of opinions. From one side, where sexuality is seen as something to be explored and chosen by the individual, and then to the other side, this is probably the left and this would be the right, where it's believed that there's a specific design for sexuality and that sexuality is to be trained towards that if you want to. So there's this whole spectrum, right? And every individual gets to come to a point in their life where they choose for themselves, where do I fall? What do I believe? Do I want to explore? Do I want to train? And I think that's really healthy. Every individual should have the ability and the freedom to do that safely, to make that choice for themselves. So that's why I support this bill at a baseline. I love the intention that it's allowing that freedom for people to be safe in making those decisions for themselves. But I want to focus on a deep concern I have with this bill, which is that while attempting to achieve freedom and safety for the individual, it's actually going to be cutting off one element of their freedom, which is to explore. So they have the freedom in this bill to explore different sexualities, but not actually to find advice or prayer or support that would tell them that there is a design for sexuality, which is actually also one option. So I've got 3 key points. The first is that the intention is to extend freedom, but without an amendment like the one I've suggested in my submission, would actually be limiting the freedom of an individual to explore the full range of sexuality. My second is that the reality is both sides of this are opinions. And I mean, I can say what I believe is truth, you can say what you believe is truth, but the reality is we have different truths. And I believe that it's a very dangerous place for law to make something that's an opinion fact and to outlaw another opinion. And to anyone who believes, that the left is right in this situation, that sexuality is to be explored and chosen, like that's totally cool. But I would just say, what's going to happen next time if another big moral issue comes up for debate, and this time it's your opinion that's being outlawed and criminalized, and someone else's opinion that's being legalized? I just think that's a really dangerous place for law to go. It's not the role of government to be making choices around that. And my third, which I saw that Ellen already mentioned, so I won't spend too much on it, is that plain and simple, it's a breach of one of the most basic human rights and the foundation of democracy, which is the freedom of expression. I've put in my submission the part of the Bill of Rights Act in 1990 that says that every individual has the freedom to seek, receive and impart information and opinions of any kind and in any form. And frankly, without an amendment, that makes this bill illegal and a breach of human rights. So that's my 3 key points. The 4th thing I would just say is, I know that the church is probably one of the biggest, awesome, I'll finish up soon. The church is one of the biggest areas of contention where people are thinking what's going to happen with churches. I'm personally part of a church, and we are always trying, it's our goal to be accepting and inclusive, and we have plenty of people here who are on all parts of the spectrum, who are openly transgender to all sorts of different things, and we never ask anyone to change. We never approach someone asking them to change. But if someone is to come to ask and say, what does the Bible say? We need the right to be able to share that with them and to be able to pray with them and support them. So that's why I support this bill, but only on the basis of an amendment added like the one I put in my submission. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Jessica. Simon hasn't raised a hand. No?
Just very briefly. So your main point really is, Jessica, that it privileges one political opinion over another and outlaws one, and that concerns you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.